Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now. Replace your business card with an Is the City Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now. Replace your business card with an Is the City Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now. Replace your business card with an Is the City Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now. Replace your business card with an Is the City Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now. Replace your business card with an Is the City Success Card. This card uses modern technology to directly connect with clients so you never get lost in the clutter like other platforms. With a simple tab or scan, you can immediately share contact information. The Success Card also allows you to share what you do best on the Is the City platform. Personalize your profile, add videos and galleries, products and services, post your deals and events, get discounts on services tailored to entrepreneurs, and more. Use a platform that is designed for small businesses. Success is just a tap away. Order now.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine. I know what he said about getting slapped, but if you touch me or mine, we gon' have to scrap. So, try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine. I have no problem laying these hands.
Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to say thank you for joining in to today's edition of Dope Conversations. This Dope Conversation is probably going to be the dopest, only because my mentor, my right hand, left hand, front, back, side to side, my queen of anthems, parties, all of that in the above. She will be proud of me today to see where I am. We got a really, really, really talented and really gifted young lady on the show today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce y'all to her so we can get on to this dope conversations. We are talking to Miss ShaDonna McPhaul, who is the CEO of so many different conglomerations of ventures. But to everybody in the Air Force that knows her, they know her from the name of Mo. She is Mo Better Music, Mo Better Blues, Mo Life. She puts the Mo in money. She puts the Mo in Monday. She puts the Mo in Mo ever whatever you want. But she merged her compassion and entrepreneurial spirit to create an organization called Mo's Heroes. A little bit about Mo's Heroes, Cliff Notes version. Mo's Heroes is an organization that focuses on the combat of homeless veterans, transition services, interview prep, how to dress for an interview. So many things that has to do with educating veterans from while they're in the military to transitioning out. She's the founder of the Mo You Know Marketing and Media Consulting Company. Man, she has been featured in GI Jobs magazines, Be Encouraged magazines. She is the co-author of 2 best-selling books, Shift On, and the voices behind mental illness, the life of a veteran. She is currently the host of the Mo You Know podcast, where she interviews up and coming entrepreneurs. She also works on a radio station. Man, look, she is like the jack of all trades, the master of whatever she puts her hands on. And she's pride of the entire state of North Carolina. She's gonna rep the whole state. But for me, this is my sister. We go back from 2008 to now. We've been rocking like 2 socks in the dryer. We've been down like 4 flats, all of the above. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to none other than the queen of all parties with a PORTY, Miss ShaDonna McPhaul. Y'all.
Thank you, kid. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am just so excited to be here. And I'm so proud of you and everything that you're doing now. And it's so funny. I don't know if you saw earlier where I shared last year that you were on my podcast. And I'm like, and we didn't even plan it. I didn't even know until Facebook showed me my memories last night of what I did last year. So this was not planned for it to be 1 year later. So I thank you for having me on. I really do. And I appreciate you for everything that you've done for me. Like I said, 2008, Osan, Lord have mercy. That was a whole mess, but but I appreciate you, dog. I really do.
Hey, for anybody that's in the military that's been stationed in Korea, I'm just gonna say this. Mo is probably the first person that I've ever known that PCS from Kusan to Osan.
Oh, child.
Like literally, she went from one to the other in the span of 2 years. I've never heard that in my life.
That, you know what? Because let me tell you how that happened. So I went to Korea, like I said, on what did they call it? They called it something, the initiative where you did 2 years and, they'll give you the extra money. And they was like, well, the only thing is you don't get to pick your next duty station. So I didn't update my dream sheet. So in that they some kind of way changed the rules where they'll let you choose your next duty station. I still had Osan on my dream sheet. So guess what? They put me on Wolfpack Wheels and sent me to Osan. And I fought it. No, I didn't fight it because I couldn't fight it, but I was so mad. I was real mad. And Osan turned out to be one of my best assignments, though, through all of the kicking and streaming and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, I cannot believe they're sending me to freaking Osan. But like I said, I got up there and I absolutely loved it. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I think between me, you, and Scotty, shout out to my boy Scotty McCoy, man. I think if it weren't for you two, man, with that second half of my tour, man, I would probably wouldn't have made it out of Korea in one piece. But it's like, man, it's like this bond that we made, and that's something that the military does. Is unused, crazy, man. The amount of family that you establish in the military. But years later, man, it's like we've been pushing each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when you first started Mo's Heroes and you started making your shift and started, doing your different projects, I was like, man, I don't give a crap what's going on. Hey, what you need me to do? Oh, okay, cool. I got an idea. I'm about to do this rocking sock drive in San Antonio because that's what Mo said do. No question. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got ready to start GI DJs, you came in and gave some nuggets on some things that we needed to do as DJs. Some people took heed, some people didn't, but nonetheless, man, you have been inspiration to a lot of people, and I don't think people. I think people have taken you for granted, but segue into this interview. That's part of the reason why I want to interview you, because it's like once I want one thing, I want to give you your flowers first and foremost. Like, you are a very important person in my life and a lot of people's lives. So I want to give you your flowers today, right? And then additionally, what I want to do is do what Dope Conversation is about. Take the story of underdog. I want to talk about the BS from the from you transition from the military to you establishing where you at and where you going and what you've been doing since you've been back in the great state of North Carolina, and just talk about your movements and why you move the way you move, and hope within hopes that we inspire somebody or we educate somebody on how to be the best version of them, and contagiously take some of that energy that you got and embrace it. So let's get on with this interview.
Absolutely. I'm here for it. I can talk all day. So
we all talk about foundations, right? Everybody always talks about being well grounded and having a foundation to come from. So everybody has a foundation. What's your foundation, and how has it shaped you to become who you are today?
So I always tell people my foundation is my family. I come from a military family, so even before I joined the military, I already knew certain things about the military that I knew would help me carry me a little bit further. So that's first and foremost. My family is my foundation. They're my everything. They get on my nerves, but they are still the reason why I am the person that I am today. So first and foremost, that is that family piece of it.
Okay, so family. Name one person in your family that keeps you going.
Woo, child. So right now, like I said, everybody knows most of y'all know I have a 7-year-old son named Charles that's upstairs mad at me now. But I have a new, he's mad. That game, and we got to get into this. Parents, we got to do something about this Fortnite, this Epic Games, this Sony. I'm sick of it. I'm not paying Sony no more money. I'm not buying no more skins. I am so sick of it. But like I said, my son, he definitely keeps me going. But I also have a new 10-month-old nephew named Adonis that just brings me so much joy. You know how you have kids or little people in your life, and they get so excited when they see you, and that makes you excited. I'm like, if y'all don't get excited as my nephew is, when y'all see me as my nephew does, I'm leaving. So that's why I'm like, I don't care about none of this. Y'all don't even hype me up. My nephew hypes me up. Like, yeah, so right now I will have to give the win to Adonis, because that is my main man. I walk in the door, he clapping, he already know. Because I'll be like, hey, 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 hey. So he gets hyped with me.
I would have to say, man, like I've always, me personally, for my foundation, I've always given that that credit to my family as well. Mainly I up until recent, I gave a lot of credit to my grandfather, but I got to give the equal share to my dad too, because I inspired to be like my dad. So and more and more, the more and more I get older and grow up, it's like I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to learn from my dad, but also had the opportunity to be inspired and my grandfather to show me what an entrepreneur looks like, but then I also know what a real live true hustler looks like at the same time. So having both of them, both of those point of views in my foresight, man, like hands down, one of the biggest things that I took from both of them was this: never let your family go to sleep without a roof over their head, and never let your family go to sleep hungry. Right?
Absolutely.
With that being said, that's all that is like my driving force to wake up and do certain crazy ideas or concepts or things like that, because one, they're different, and two, it's for my family, it's for my legacy. So and I see when you post, man, like when you post Charles, man, when you do the way you move for him, man, I swear it'd be crazy. It would be crazy that he would grow up and not be the amplified version of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for, because a lot of the times I see, and he does, and I know that he's watching. You know how we talk about how everybody else is watching, but I know first and foremost that little dude is watching, because I hear, like I said, when he's playing his game. I don't know if you saw my post yesterday. So he was playing some game online, and the little boy was like, "How did you get this car? That car costs a lot of money." And Charles was like, "I stayed up playing when you went to sleep." So that made me so proud, because we get on these kids about these video games and all of that, how it's taking away their brain power and all of that, but you got to look at everything with put a positive spin on it. And that made me so proud, because as you know, we as entrepreneurs, as people, trying to make a way for our family, there's nights where I'm up all night. People are texting me, "Mo, go to sleep," or they'll see me on social media and all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, baby, and I didn't say nothing to him, because, but I was just like, that's what you're going to have to do. If you want money while everyone else is sleeping, you're going to have to put in the work, whether it's on a video game or whatever it is that you're working on. To get that fake money or that real money is going to take work.
Hey, man, my boy, man, and I'm waiting on his confirmation. He's already said yes, but we waiting on the date. So, like my boy Nicky Daniels said, man, my partner from Barksdale, his brand and his business is called Sleepers for the Rich. If you ain't rich, well, why you over there worried about 8 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours of sleep? That what you just said about what that kid, it resonated, because it's like, like people like, "Oh man, how you over there getting like this little shit? While you over there asleep, I'm over here getting better."
Yeah. It is so funny. I was talking to one of my old section commanders from my first base the other day, and we were just reminiscing, and we were talking about how at my first base I had a part-time job. She was like, "Yeah, you did your work. You was a little sleepy, but you did your work." I said, "I had 24 hours in a day." Like I said, when I got off that military job, I went and waited tables, went to the grocery store, went to wherever I was working at the time to make that extra money, because I'm like, listen, it's money to be made. And then back then, I had all these friends. We wanted to have new hair and new nails and clothes. We had to be the freshest on the scene. So, little E3, I don't know how much they make now, but back then, they didn't make a lot. So I had to supplement, and I had to make some more money, because, like I said, I had to be at karaoke. I had to be, like I said, you could not tell me I wasn't a Destiny's Child or a part of Babylon, Total, Escape, all these 1998 through like 2000. And listen, I thought I was in somebody's music group.
Yes. I don't know how we make today, but back then, no, we didn't make a lot of money as E3 back then. I honestly don't know how I survived. I don't know how I survived. I think deploying as an E3 helped me survive, because I wouldn't have made it as an E3 today without going on in today's time frame. So you said you mentioned the Air Force, right? You mentioned being in the Air Force, or you mentioned back when we were in. What was some of the, at what point while you were in the service did you think that did you start embracing your entrepreneur personality or your personality trait?
And that's a two-part question because the first time, and as I look back on it, when I was at Eglin, the first contract I got with the club, you remember how back in the day people would do the airbrush? I had took a sheet and airbrushed the King of Clubs, and I would sell pictures for like $5. I had a Polaroid, and I would sell pictures. Like, I remember comedians would come, like T.P. Hearns came, Ricky Smiley came, Shucky Shucky Quack Quack came. So I had my sheet, and I was just taking pictures in the back. So that was my first time. I'm like, oh, that's what we did at home at the club. So why can't I do it now? But what really got me thinking about being, an entrepreneur is when I started, Most Heroes, because I'm like, okay, I knew it was about, this was for 2013. I had 3 years left. And I'm like, okay, I want to do something that I love to do, that, I can help people. And even although it's a nonprofit, at some point, I'll be able to benefit from it. But I didn't start it to be able to make an income and do all of that kind of stuff, because I knew that I was going to retire and that would be income. My main goal for starting the organization was, like you said, to make sure I knew I was going to have a roof over my head. But when I was in Hawaii, I saw so many veterans, homeless veterans, without a roof over their head. And I'm like, this can't be life. We have to do something. And I knew that I had the skills to find the resources and to disseminate that information, because I'm like, I know about this. Why don't they know about this? And the one thing that I found, going forward is, like I said, I was an information manager in the military. For what that means for people I was your admin. I was in front of a computer. I was on the phone. I was communicating with people all day to make sure the right people got the right information at the right time to make the right decisions. So what made me think, it was like, okay, I'm working with my last duty assignment. I was working in the maintenance squadron. And I realized those maintainers, they're not on the computer all day. I can't change the tire on a plane. I can't change the engine on a plane. I can't do nothing to a plane but board it. So I was just like, okay, it's not their fault that they don't know how to do this and do that. People would get so frustrated, like some of my counterparts, the personnelists and the other IMers, when those guys would come into the CSS, the commander support staff, and they didn't have their paperwork and their documentation together, they would be so mad, like, why don't you have this? And I had to explain to them, you can't go out there on that flight line and change that tire. You can't go over to the hospital and pull a tooth. It's like a lot of the things the Air Force trained us to do. They trained them to do that and trained us to do this. So I really was like, okay, I got to do this for my brothers and sisters that have another skill that I don't have. They still deserve the benefits, but sometimes we are going to have to hold their hand and walk them through that paperwork. Still to this day, that's what I pride myself on, is to be that admin support person for people in my family and for the organization and for the clients that we get. Because, you've been seeing me, I'm always advocating for people to apply for those VA benefits. And, people be like, well, the VA is this, the VA is that. Say what you want to say about the VA. You cannot skip that part of the transition. And too many people skip that part. They want to go, and I get it. You want to go to work. You want to start your business. You want to do all the things that you want to do now that you're out of the Air Force or out of the military. But you cannot skip that. You cannot skip the military. I mean, you can't skip the VA.
So it's funny you say that, because they're like, oh man, like you hit on a couple of things that I want to segue to. But one of the things that that kept coming to mind while you were talking was, it's funny that a lot of people that retire from the military, they go out and start businesses, because a lot of us don't just we spent anywhere between 5 to 20 plus years working for somebody that we just wanted to punch the hell out of, right? So when a lot of us get out, even me, it's like when I'm praying, man, I'm finna start putting holy oil, knowing everything, my vision, my mission and stuff like that. Because when I get out, man, I don't want to see this life again. I don't, because it's like, I feel like, I honestly, as of late, mainly because it's been hitting me more personally. It started personally with my nephew. When my nephew passed from active duty, and I started peeling the layers back on his situation, how his situation in life unfolded in the Army. I got irate. So my mind shifted from being this leader that expected people to know, and became a leader that basically just started sharing and started engaging to see if people knew versus assuming that people knew. Because, man, I'm telling you, right now, the military today is like a factory assembly line. It's to me, I mean, it's what they it's to me. I equate it to the horror stories of Amazon, the Amazon factories. That's what I equate the military to. Outwardly they say, we care about the families, we care about this, but in actuality, like, we got business to do. And unfortunately, because we got business to do, we're promoting leaders too fast. I'm not saying we promote the wrong leaders, because God promotes people, right? We're promoting leaders too fast, and we're sitting back looking at who's above us. Is like, man, if I got to get out of the military and deal with this again, I ain't gonna make it. I got to start I am about to figure out what it is that I'm good at, and I'm about to make that my next financial move.
Yeah. And you are so right about that. So I've been out of the Air Force. I retired in 2016. And I've gotten some jobs. I've gotten some really good paying jobs, good benefits, and all of that. But like you said, once, and I'm not saying anybody was a bad leader or all of that kind of stuff, because I still have relationships with some of these people. But it was just like, I knew that it was certain things that I knew that I didn't have to tolerate anymore. Right. And that I'm not going to tolerate. Like I said, I tell people, like, I already read this book. I know how it's going to end. When I see anything shifty happening at work with the leadership chain and the management, I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't for me. Because, like I said, it's not, you'll end up hurting somebody. And like I said, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to be on the front of the Fayetteville Observer for the wrong thing. So, and I'll tell you, one of the jobs I used to work in a call center. And when I was so excited to have the job and all of that, and it was cool at first. Like I said, the people were really nice, the benefits, they fed us good. But when the people would call about their bill and they was nasty and cussing and all of that negative energy, I could not take it. And I tell you, I went to therapy before I would go to work to deal with. I'm like, man, listen, I got to, like you said, I got to keep a roof over our head. I got to keep food on the table. I got to do all this stuff that I got to do. So I couldn't just quit. So I had to figure out a way, okay, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get to a place where I don't have to be here anymore? Because like I said, I love the work of it, but that negative energy, I'm not dealing with that on nobody's level, and in a corporate level, in a private level, I just can't take it. It's just, I'm not going to do it. Like, so it's just like, okay, Mo, you have to put in the effort and the energy into Mo's Heroes, the Mo, in order for you not to have to deal with anything that you don't want to have to deal with. So you're on to something. Whatever you want to do, make sure you put your all into it so that it works, so you don't have to go back to do something that you have to do.
Exactly. And one thing I've started doing, because I got like 2 years to I retire. But one thing I've started doing is, because I'm kicking myself in the butt, is I'm telling people, like, hey, like, do you know what you want to, like, don't wait till you retire. I mean, if you can, cool, wait till you retire. But I start looking at identifying where you want to be, like what specialty field you want to be in prior to retiring, and start moving in that direction. Why? And the reason why I tell people that is because you don't have to wait till that 6 months to do the internship. You can actually do the internship while you're on active duty. Start getting that applied experience that you wouldn't get if you had to wait till you got to the date of separation or retirement. Because again, do you want to come back and complain about the same stuff that you've been complaining about? Waking up, oh man, I got to go work for this person, and they like this, or oh this and this is like, oh, my body hurts and all this. Oh.
And it's funny that you say that, because I told you earlier on in my career, I had a part-time, like I said, I waited tables. So I always thought that, man, when I got in the military, I just wanted to wait. That was my plan, to go back, either wait tables or bartend, because that's what I liked to do at the time. So when I got out, I actually took a job working at a restaurant. I waited tables again, and people were like, "Why are you waiting tables?" I'm like, number one, they hired me. Number two, it was easy money. So I thought. So my thing is, like I said, I knew I had that skill and I could do it, but waiting tables is for 20-year-old Mo, not 40-year-old Mo. So that didn't last long. Because like I said, my body was hurt, having to carry them tray. It was just too much. And then the people were rude. Like I said, I'm not dealing with the rude people, not for no amount of money in this world. So you're right when you say that you can start thinking about what you want to be when you grow up, because that's essentially, you're going to have to reinvent yourself. If you want to go work for someone else, you can, because everyone isn't meant to be an entrepreneur or a small business owner or whatever. So you have to be really clear with what is it that you want your life to look like.
Right.
Do you want to go to another job? And like for me, I didn't want to, but it made sense to, because I'm like, okay, that's what I was used to. I wasn't, even though I was planning, Most Heroes was already established when I got out. The Mo You Know didn't come about to 2018. So I knew that I said, oh, when my time is my time, I'm going to make this work. But I still wanted that safety net of, like I said, because the Most Heroes, like I said, I can't live off. I wasn't even trying to live off that, but I'm like, okay, I need this job to make sure these bills are paid, because I don't want to be no broke entrepreneur, man. I'd rather be a paid employee than a broke entrepreneur. So I'm like, let me just do this till I can really figure out how to make this work.
So, forget the military, man. Let's talk about stuff. So, what would you say post-military? What was your biggest accomplishment?
Oh, what did I do post the military? I guess I received a lot of awards for the stuff that I did, in the military. Like I said, I got an NAACP award. But my biggest thing that I accomplished, I guess, would be starting the Mo You Know, because that's one of the things I always tell people. I'm gonna be Oprah. I'm gonna interview people. I'm gonna get paid to talk for a living. I'm gonna promote, and I love to promote things. I love to party and I love to promote. So my biggest thing is being able to take that idea and take all the stuff that I learned promoting Most Heroes. I'm like, well, if I could do this for Most Heroes, if I could get me on the news, if I could do this for me, I could turn around and do that for someone else, another entrepreneur, another veteran that's going through the transition. So I would say starting the Mo You Know, having that vision and actually putting the work to get it started, that would be my biggest accomplishment since I got out of the military.
Okay. So, what is your background in marketing and branding?
So marketing and branding. So, I told you I was a admin and a information manager in the military. So at my first duty station, I worked in public affairs and I absolutely loved it. I love public affairs. But guess what? I got orders to Korea. As soon as I got the job that I love, like, oh, this is it. I got orders to Korea, so I had to leave. So, but I always knew that I wanted to do that. That was working in public affairs for that short amount of time. That planted the seed. And hey, I want to be involved with the media. I want to be involved in the community. So that was planted in the back of my mind. And then, like I said, throughout my career, in the military, you have Christmas parties, you have all kind of events, all kind of special observances. So I would always be on the African American Heritage Committee at every base, and I would always, promote, do the PR, send the emails, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I like this. So when I got out, I'm like, okay, I want to be Oprah. I want to do advertising. I want to do promotion. So when I got out, I started going to our local community college. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use my GI Bill and go to FTCC. Shout out to the Trojans. So, and I started taking marketing classes over there. And I heard on the radio on Fox 99. My girl Jane Doe was like, "Hey, are y'all looking for internships for Fox 99?" And I love that radio station growing up. So I'm like, "Heck yeah, I'm in college. I need credit, So I'm like, Fox 99, yes, I can do this." So I, sent her an email, sent them my resume, did all the things. Like 2 weeks later, she called me. It was so funny because I actually used to stalk. I make a joke that I used to stalk her. You know how when radio personalities are at different remotes and they would say, "Hey, pull up. We're going to be here. We're going to be there." So when I was in town, when I was home on leave, if I heard that they were going to be somewhere, I would pull up. Like, "Hey, I'm home. I'm pulling up." So to get that opportunity, like, really changed my life. So I did the internship. So 2 days into the internship, I saw on the job board that they was looking for people to do remote street team. I'm like, "Hey, I can do that." So I'm like, "Who I need to talk to?" So I tell people, once you get your foot in the door, there's nowhere else to go. Now you really see what's going on and how you can elevate. So 2 days into the internship, I'm talking about how I get to a paid position. So I ended up getting to do the remotes, which was fun. I was did a lot of remotes for the country station, and people were looking. And I know this one lady was like, "How did you," talking about me, "get a job at a country station?" I had on red Nike. She's like, "You need to be working for Foxy." And I'm like, "Listen," I gave her a politically correct answer. "Hey, I like people. I can work with anybody." And she was like, "I bet you can't name 10 country music." And I'm like, "Listen," I started rolling them off because I listened to all kind of music. So, those popular country folks, I knew them. So she was like, "Okay." So, I did the internship, the street team, on the promotions team or whatever. And then the market, I got a call from the old program director that's saying, "Hey, the old market manager, likes you, she thinks you have a great personality. You're always smiling, that you should try sales." And I've heard so many different things about sales. I'm like, and I knew it was way more money than what I was getting over here. But looking back on it, the promotion side, the street team side I enjoyed that way more than the sales side, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, sales, like I said, sales, it was way more money, but it wasn't as fun. Because it was a lot of no's, and Lord knows I don't like no's. I had some yeses, I had some wins, but those no's was semi-devastating. I remember I cried. They were like, "No, you can't take this serious. You can't cry about it." I was just, they like, "No, never cry." But I was like, I remember I had the paperwork signed. Everything was going good, and I called. They like, "You ready to run the payment?" She's like, "Nah, we're not going to do it." I was devastated. I'm like, "Oh, they're going to be so mad at me." But
what do those no's do for you though? Like what?
They're devastating. They are, and I know everybody always says, "Do not take it personal." But you're human. The first couple, you're going to take it personal. But now going forward, those no's are just an opportunity to go find your competitor. But really, a lot of times when you get a no from somebody, you really can, okay, well, who's their competitor? Because you have a product that the person needs. And if that no is just an opportunity for you to go and find another yes.
Yo, that's dope. I didn't even think of, if you reach out to a company and they tell you no, look and see who their competitors are, and you probably can use that as leverage in the first place. Wow. Okay. So y'all hear this, right? Like, this is somebody who literally is not saying jumping from job to job, but she's jumping from passion to passion. She's jumping from things that she goes from one thing that she likes and opportunity. Like, so backstory. So I established a really dope relationship with two influential people, and it wasn't because, and the relationship I established is because, no, it's for a bigger purpose, right?
Right.
But how did I get to that point of that opportunity? My gifts opened the door for me.
Absolutely.
To walk.
They always will.
So your gifts, the fact that you are hands down are a contagious individual, and you bring positive energy regardless of the negative situation. somebody was like, man, look, give her this opportunity. And then this opportunity came and you took that and was like, I'm about to run with this because I'm having fun with this. He said, dude, literally, let's put her over here. We can give her this job because of her energy. But even still, like, you running the marketing piece or the sales piece for the radio station, and that was a piece that my first job at the radio station was also sales as well, but it was sales from the back. I got hired by the sales team to do radio spots because the guy that was over the radio group heard me at the club and heard me on the microphone when I was doing an event and was like, yo, this dude has a voice. And that's how I got pulled over into the radio industry. But sitting back watching sales and hearing how these guys were talking about just how they understood how to sell, how to pitch sales, and how to get people to buy into what it is they're doing, it was all about passion and energy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what some people miss, or I think people miss that when they get into a job or when they get into a situation where they're doing something for money. They get so connected to the money piece that they lose the passion and drive, and then then the quality, not the quantity, but the quality of work that they're producing becomes subpar because now they're chasing the dollar.
Yeah. And for me, I never, and I tell people, I laugh all the time, so I never chase the bag. That's why I never been chasing the money. That's why I don't have a lot of because it always has, because the money's going to come. Like you said, your gifts are going to come. Your gifts are going to make a way for you, because I never want to get caught up in the money of it. The money is important, especially when you're running a business. And that's one of the things I'm having to do a mindset shift on, because in the military, you're going to get paid your salary no matter how much work you do or don't do.
Tell me that.
On the outside, like you said, if you're running a business or if you're in sales, and every business has to have a sales component. You have to be selling something, or you just have an expensive hobby, right? So it was just like, okay, Mo, you have to sell. You have to offer something. Because I know for the longest time, you know me, I'm just doing it. Hey, I like to do it. Hey, here you go. And I will see, even today, I saw somebody looking for something on Facebook, and I was just going to make the connection. And I'm like, Mo, you have to stop doing that. You are 100% in business now. It's like, if you want to help people, they need to be a client. There needs to be a contract. There needs to be payment. There needs to be money moving. So I'm having to stop myself from doing a lot of the stuff that I was doing for free, not because, I'm a selfish individual or not because of anything negative. It's just like, okay, if I want to run this business and take it to the level that I want to take it to, if I want to be able to have the employees and to change the economics in our community, I have to get some money. I have to charge folks because these folks are charging me. These invoices are coming left and right. So I'm like, Mo, you got to be able to pay these invoices, and you can't keep using, personal funds to pay these. If you're in business, your business should be taking care of itself. And I'm not telling anybody not to how to, run their business or whatever. But I know for me, if you have a business, that business should be running itself. Yes, when you first start out, you're going to have to use your own funds. That's with anything, because everybody keeps saying, I don't have the capital. The capital comes when you sell something. If you that's your funding. So, you got to sell something. That's your funding comes from selling.
Hilarious. So it's funny. It's funny because we're talking about charging, right? Me and you done had this conversation so many times, and you fuss at me more than anything. And even my homie B. Michelle in San Antonio, shout out to B. Michelle in San Antonio. Like, y'all fuss at me more. And my old lady, man, she fusses at me. It's like, you do the stuff that we do for people. Like, people make money off our backs. But then the crazy thing is, when we turn around and start charging for what we're good at, people look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah. And that's our fault, because we've trained them. And that's one of the things, we've trained them to be I don't want to say a fool, but we trained them to be their fool. So it's like now when you say no, I got to charge for that. No, this is my time. Like I said, all of that stuff that goes within running a business and running your life. It takes the money to operate life. Let's put the business aside.
Right.
You have to have income, like you said, to keep these lights on, to keep food on the table, to keep the cell phone bill paid. Without this internet, I won't be able to talk to you right now. That's a whole bill.
Hey, is that a business expense?
That is a business expense. Listen, communications, your phone bill, your internet, because most of the time, most people are running their businesses through their phones now, through the computer. How many people really got a brick and mortar now?
I know a few, but a lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. They're running online businesses. So the number one thing you need for an online business is fast internet. So you have to have the income. You laugh. If I don't pay nothing else, I'm paying CenturyLink.
You gotta have fast internet. Y'all get y'all some fast internet.
Yeah, it was so funny because the Spectrum guy came over here yesterday when I was doing calls. I'm like, nah, bro, I done got on with CenturyLink and they done up their game. So I'm like, man, listen, Spectrum, I'm sorry, but CenturyLink done took your job.
Boy, that is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. So, what do you say to somebody that knows that has the talent, that has the gift, and has the ability to produce, and has proven, has the data to back up what they're producing? What do you say to them as far as charging, and how do you get them out of their ways to be confident enough to set a price and not be afraid of losing an opportunity?
I will definitely tell them the same thing. Like I said, I just told you, you have to know where you want to see yourself, where you want to see your business, and you got to have a plan to how you're going to get there.
Right.
You got to have a plan how you want to get. Okay, you want to buy Chick-fil-A. Okay, how you going to get the money to buy Chick-fil-A? Whatever it is that you want to do, you got to really think about, okay, this is what I want to do. How am I going to get the funding to do this? Whether it's through the bank, whether it's through, your own personal funds, whether it's through an inheritance. However, you got to be clear on how you're going to get to that step. And most of the time it's going to come with you having to have your own money. Like I said, in most cases, you have to get clear on how you're going to get to the money.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you get to it, but you have to know how I'm going to get to it. Okay. Are you going to have to sell whatever you're selling? How many of what you're selling is going to get you to that point? Like, let's say you're selling a book. You have to know how many books you have to sell to get to the point that you want to make. You have to set your own goals, and nobody can set. And I asked so many people, and when I first started out, how do I set the price? And everybody would say, you got to only you can put value on what you do. You can't expect nobody else to say. You can get input from other people, because I've done that too, where they was like, okay, Mo, you should be charging this, or no, that's too low, and I've had that a lot of times because my prices was, really low, and they still are pretty low because I still want to help people. I'm not trying to knock nobody over the head, especially, like I said, the people that I want to serve, they're pretty new in business.
Right.
So, only you can put value on what it is that you do. So I would tell them to make sure that you value you, because no one else is going to value you if you don't value you. If you don't put value to what you're producing, no one else is. They're going to keep trying to get the discount. They're going to keep asking for it for free. So you definitely have to say, okay, this is how much time it takes me, and this is what I'm worth. And don't have no second feelings about it. Don't feel no kind of way about telling somebody, hey, this is what I'm charging. And if they want to say, well, that's too much, they're not your client. And you can ask any coach, any consultant in this world, that those people that's questioning your prices are not your client. And, you shouldn't have to be out here convincing people to buy this and buy that. If they see it and they like it, you want it, you buy it. Just like you remember we was in Korea, we would go to these different jerseys and purses, and those folks, they didn't people would try to negotiate with them. A lot of them wouldn't negotiate. There was like how many jersey shops in Korea?
1,000.
So the people who had the good stuff, no, you either gonna pay this or you can go negotiate around the corner. And that's how we have to look at our businesses. Like, no, you can go find somebody else, but this is what it is over here.
I ain't gonna lie, man. With my polo shirts, it was only one. It was a select few people in Korea with polo shirts, and two, it was only 2 people with authentic polo shirts, and literally, I was paying damn near full price for polos because I want equality,
right?
And my connect was like, dude, I'm telling you right now, do you see this right here? This is legit. You finna pay this price, or you ain't. You finna go over there and get the Ralph Lauren they sewing in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people pay for quality. People pay for value. People pay for what they want. So don't be like, oh, they ain't got no. People, like I said, people paying for these, they paying for these Jordans, they paying for these weaves, and they paying for these nails and these jerseys and Fortnite. People paying for what they want to pay for.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like I got a question. This is a rhetorical question, but you can answer too though. It's like, man, people been spending a whole lot of money since they've been stuck in the house, right? Now, what you think gonna happen when we come out of this thing and we throw the prices out? What you think gonna happen when we come out of this thing? You think they're gonna continue to spend that money like they're spending it, or you think they're gonna go back to being price hagglers and all that other stuff?
You know what? The people who were price hagglers before, they're gonna stay price hagglers. The people that were spending money, they're gonna stay spending money.
That's hospitality.
Yeah, that's just what they do. People ain't gonna change. They do what they gonna do.
Yeah.
Like I said, the people, and a lot of times, everybody's like, they feel that people are counting other people's coins. They were like, oh, because you don't have no money, don't think this person over here, they may have some savings. They may have this. And especially in Fayetteville or in any military town, we have went to the Harley Davidson dealership. I have a contract with the nonprofit, and we was going around asking, we got an event coming up. And the lady was like, yeah, we ain't missed a beat. We selling motorcycles like ain't nobody, like they had no they didn't see a downshift in sales, because like I said, the military still got paid, veterans still got paid, and I'm going to put my Most Heroes hat back on for a second, because that's what I'm telling our veterans. The VA still made those payments. DFAS, everybody still got paid. So I will tell our veterans, if you are a veteran and you have not received your benefits, if you have not applied for your benefits, you need to be applying for your benefits. And that's just as simple as I can put it.
Hey, or you can not. That way you can make sure that they don't they let free money that you leave it on the table can be available for me. Now just playing.
And you know what? You're playing, but that's the mentality that so many people have. Oh, I don't want to take it because somebody else needed more than I do. No, this is Ken's money. This is Mo's money. Mo's money ain't got nothing to do with Ken's money. Ken's money ain't got nothing to do with Mo's money. Everybody got their own separate pot of money.
I earned every red cent that the VA is planning to provide me in 2 years. I earned every red cent.
Every cent. And that's one of the things too that my people had, my stepdad and other folks. They was like, Mo, 20 years is a long time. 20 years doing anything is a long time. This is not a gift. This is not free money. This is not a handout. You earned every single penny that they're giving you. Every penny.
Sometimes you ain't getting enough because people still got to go back and fight for
it. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't get into the VA's meat and potatoes because I don't work for the VA. I can't speak on their behalf. But I will tell you, do not let a little fight stop you. Don't let a little fight stop you from getting what's rightfully yours.
So what's next for Mo?
So what's next for Mo? Mo. Oh my gosh. So what's next? So the Mo you know. The Mo you know is going to be, why is all this spam? I don't know. Somebody keeps spamming me. Stop. What's next for Mo is really just doing what I'm doing, taking the Mo you know to the next level, still promoting, Mo's heroes and trying to persuade, not convince, but persuade our veterans to really take charge and take the initiative to get their benefits started. Because in my opinion, that's the only way we're going to end homelessness. That's the only way we're going to end unemployment, because you have this, they have this pot of money over here, and they know that our veterans went through something. They know that we're going through something. So that's why they have the compensation program. That's why they have the education benefits. That's why they have the healthcare benefits, the housing benefits. They know that, hey, y'all, we've been through this. Hey, this is set aside for y'all. Now it's just up to us to take that initiative to go apply. So shout out to the VA. Anybody listening that is a veteran or is close to a veteran, after you get off of this call, after you stop watching this, go directly to va.gov. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. No, you got to pass go to collect your $200. To go to va.gov and just start taking the initiative to learn what's available to you. Because a lot of times I hear so many people saying, nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. And I remember there was, when I first got back to Fayetteville, I had went and talked to the old director of the VA. And everybody told me, I've heard stories about her or whatever. So she's like, yeah, you can come see me. So she called my secretary. I called the secretary and got an appointment with her. And she gave me about 5 minutes of her time. I told her, hey, I'm Mo. I just do Mo's Heroes. This blah, 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 blah. And she was like, listen, me and the mayor, we've already ended homelessness. She was like, oh, yeah. She said, whatever the veterans need to know is in the book and it's online. And, normally when I do my interviews, I have the little book with me. And she was exactly right. So I'm like, okay, you're right. And I'm like, my Cumberland County school system education didn't fail me. I can read and write with the best of them. Cumberland County did not fail ShaDonna McPhaul. So, okay, it's online and it's on the book. So, okay, so I go to va.gov at least once a week to see what's new, because there's so many things that's changing with the VA. You just got to stay current. You got to take that initiative to stay current.
Well, and it's funny you say that, segue from the VA, but I think that what you just said is key to a lot of things. Is, man, it's a lot of opportunities out there. It's a lot of resources. It's a lot of help. If you don't want to call it help, it's a lot of nuggets or whatever you want to call it out there. But we are too prideful, or two, don't know where to go get it. And I think that's one of the issues, and one of the leading causes of business failure or venture failures is that people find themselves in situations where they don't go seek. They stay in that little bubble, or they stay where it's comfortable, or they're too prideful to go and ask for mentorship or guidance, not help, mentorship or guidance.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a small business and I'm trying to do such. Oh, you're a small business and your business focuses on, let's just say, 17-year-old kids that are left-handed who can't hear. Oh man, it's a whole pot of money over there that can help you maintain, establish, and sustain your platform just to support this. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people will be successful entrepreneurs if they knew if they took the time to research where their business falls in line when it comes to entrepreneur support. not government support, because when I say people hear words like government support, they feel like it's welfare, but it's entrepreneurial support. What grants do you qualify for? What small business loans do you qualify for? You know, and then going into marketing. You know, how do you market and how do you approach or how do you reach your demographic of people? You know, people kind of they need to get out of their way when doing that. I was on a call today with a gentleman. And the stuff he broke down to me, I was like, wow, like literally, wow, you know, and it's just crazy. I mean, you was fussing at me last night. Well, you didn't. I didn't give you a chance to fuss at me because I knew you was about to cuss me out, and I had to explain why. I had to explain why. It was a reason why I'm just now doing what I'm supposed to do administratively. But B. Michelle, she been cussing me out for the past 2 years, and you know, I was running around coming up with different concepts and ideas and just doing stuff, but I didn't have a direction. And I don't want to spend money on something that's not a direction, because when you do that, you wasted money because you didn't have a real purpose.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that sticks out to me, especially during this quarantine, you know, when the SBA stepped up and said, okay, here is some PPP money or the other EDLI money and the grants and all of that. And it was so many people that was scared to do it. They knew about it because everybody was talking about it. You know, everybody, all of the chambers was talking about it, and all the Facebook business groups was talking about it, all the coaches, all the consultants. So they cannot say they didn't know that this existed. But what I found is a lot of people, was scared to get it because, you know, like I said, with government money, I don't want to get in no trouble or whatever. Or they didn't have their paperwork in line and in order to get it.
Right.
So people were big mad about all the corporations. They got all this money and they got it. Why I didn't get it? And I challenge you to say, was your paperwork in order? And I'm pretty sure when you got if you got a decision, a negative or a disapproval letter or whatever, they probably told you why you didn't get it. Yeah. And with anything, when somebody tells you why, especially like I said, I'm a person that has, like I said, when you get that credit and the denial letter, right?
Yeah,
they'll tell you exactly why they denied you.
Remember that account you opened up when you was 19? Yeah. It took you 7 years to pay it off. Yeah. Even though you paid it off, it's still on your record. We stand up.
Yes. So fine. And even with the VA, anytime you get that denial letter, they're going to give you a reason why your stuff got denied. Now it's up to you to say, okay, well, how do I fix this?
Right.
Or like you said, who do I need to talk to? What accountant do I need to talk to make sure that my books are right to get this PPP, to make sure, because there's people out there that are way smarter than us. There are accountants out there for a reason. There's CPAs out there for a reason. There's real estate agents out there for a reason. There's lawyers out there. There's doctors. There's people out there that are there to fix life's problems. So it's just a matter of, like you said, seeking out that help, seeking out that guidance to somebody who does this for a living. And one of the things that really bothers me on Facebook, and I have a love-hate relationship with these Facebook groups that share information, because I absolutely despise people giving out wrong information. If I don't have the guaranteed answer, I ain't telling you nothing. Or if I'm going to go to Google and send you directly to the source, but you'll have some people that'll share bad information, and maybe it's not even necessarily bad information. It just applies to their situation. And what we have to remember is that we can't put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. Just because that person got a no or a yes ain't got nothing to do with us, because we're not in that same boat.
Exactly. So, man, like, I think, man, it's godsend, like these last 4 months. Me and my sister have been together for the last 3.5 months, and man, we created our own little, internal incubator where, I bounce stuff off of her. She says, the way she responds makes me want to punch her in the face sometimes, but like a real deal. And then I say some stuff, bounce stuff off of her. She probably, want to punch me in the face, but we bounce ideas off each other. And it's been one thing I can say is it's been really dope to have somebody that's in your life that you trust no matter what, that you can share a vision or idea with them and it not be shut down. It'd be like, yeah, I ain't really feeling what you're saying, but I see what you're saying. Go look at it this way and then let's come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
And we have literally, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have found a true identity to my brand and company. If it weren't for her, because I just did. I don't have nobody I can talk to every day that gets it, and I'm not knocking my wife or anything. It's just, your wife is your spouse is your spouse. Sometimes you need somebody that's outside their brain capacity to be able to hear what you're saying, connect the dots, and then regurgitate what you're saying and help you convey the message. Because a lot of times when we have visions, ideas, concepts, we want to do stuff, it comes out of our mouth. We understand it, other people don't.
Yeah.
It's been really cool over the past 3 months to be connected with her. One, because we haven't connected. We really haven't connected. We don't know each other as adults, so we're learning each other as adults. But it's been really cool to be around her and just be vulnerable without feeling like I'm gonna get shut down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had several conversations with your sister too. So shout out to Nisha. Where's she at now?
She's over at a friend house. When I get through, I'm headed back over there so we can finish hanging out, man, and get out the house. But and what I was saying, and what I was, the point I was making is, y'all, man, like people gotta find friends that are not going to say your idea is stupid every time, even if it's stupid or it's crazy. You gotta be around somebody that can actually see inside your brain while you're explaining something and can convey the message to where you can gather yourself and you can really come up with what you can really, embrace what it is you're doing. Because I honestly, like, you know me for years. I've been bossing. I've been doing entrepreneur type stuff for years, but it's just like I've been doing it because I can do it. And that's just a talent I got. Now I'm at the point to where, when I leave this military, I ain't trying to see this military again. If I got to, it's my last resort. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to see it again. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be in a box. And right now, I feel like with the military, I'm being boxed in, and the anxiety and the frustration and the anger repression that I have because I'm being boxed in, it's causing me to be like, yo, I gotta hear him get out of here. But when I get out of here, I need a direction.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell people, like, get you somebody, be around people that's not gonna shoot down your dreams, but coach you through your dreams or advise you wholesomely through your dreams. If it's something that's really stupid, hey, have them say it's stupid, but then if they tell you stupid, be that friend or that loved one that can tell you why it's stupid, and then help coach them through whatever it is that they're coaching them through. That's a lot of times why people don't say nothing to nobody.
And you know what? I'm gonna stop you there, because like I said, we always get mad at our family and friends for not supporting us. But like you said, your wife is your wife. You gotta let your family and friends be your family and friends. Like you said, there's coaches and there's consultants that will never. They may I don't know anybody that's going to tell you that your ideal is stupid. They may try to get you to think of other ways to make it happen, but don't. And that's one thing I want to tell anybody: don't ever let anybody tell you your ideal is stupid. Don't ever let anybody talk you out of your ideal or try to devalue you in your idea, because that's your idea. Like we have this cliché, but God gave you that vision.
Exactly.
And if you have to speak to, like I said, a coach or a consultant to help you flush that idea, you have to make that investment. And that's what I think a lot of people don't want to make that investment, to get to a point, to somebody that's a little bit further along than you, to say, hey, this is what I need to do. These are the steps, the direction that you're looking for. There's people out there that's all that they do is direct entrepreneurs, direct small business owners, direction. And I think that is one of the biggest things when people leave the military, when they don't have that direction, when they don't have that supervision or that management or that somebody over them. Because I know even for me, when I was talking to, a lady that I invested in to coach me, I was like, I need that. I know what I want to do, but I need that self-assurance. I need somebody to tell me, yes, that's it. You're doing good, Mo. That I don't necessarily need that pat on the back, but I needed that. Oh yeah, this makes sense. Or this doesn't make sense. Why are you doing it this way? Maybe if you did it this way, you could get more sales or bring in more clients. And I also wanted to comment on something you said about being frustrated, in the military and being boxed in. And I was there too, so I totally get it. And now that I'm out, I can say, folks in the military, you got to remember, you're going to get out, but while you're in the military, you're in the military. Yep. Your job is to do Uncle Sam's mission.
Yep.
Like I said, you can, and I was exactly where you was. I was so frustrated. I couldn't wait to get out because I already knew what I wanted to do, when I just had to ride it out by the time, because then when every day you put that uniform on and every day DFAS is paying you, you still belong to the military. So remember that, because it's coming to an end. You got to be ready for it to come to an end. But while you're on Uncle Sam's time, do Uncle Sam's work. Yeah. And while you're at this company, if you're on company's time, because they're going to tell you, if you on our time, if you on our dime, you on our time. So it's like, you got to get to a point where you can do your own thing, because if somebody's paying you to do something, baby, you better not be doing nothing else. I'm serious, because they will call. Listen. That's
real spit. You know what I'm saying? That's not, and that's the truth. And that's why I have to make sure that, like, 100%, I'm solely committed in this exit. Right? I got to have my exit plan, but at the same time, I got to understand that this is funding my exit plan. This is solidifying. This is going to sustain my exit plan. Yeah. So I have to in the back of my mind remember, like, okay, 2 more years. Do what you got to do for 2 more years, and you're going about your business. But at the same time, 2 years gonna come fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to make sure that we talk about LinkedIn, we talk about resume, the whole transition operation. That's a big deal. And
Ken, what else did you ask me for when you said, hey, send me your stuff? What's the one thing that you asked me for that no one else in the military is telling you to get ready?
A bio.
Gotta have your bio ready, because a lot of the times people ain't gonna ask you for no resume.
Yeah, a bio.
They gonna ask you for your bio. And how many people like in the military, your colonels and all those your leadership people have their bios ready to go and ready to produce, but those lower enlisted individuals, they ain't thinking about no bio. And I remember I told one of my old coworkers, because I had just came back from a conference, and they was like telling me how my bio, my professional pictures, all the stuff that I still share to this day that people are going to need, because people are going to ask you for it. Yep. But the people who are still in the military, they're not exposed to that yet. So they're going to look at you and tell you your stuff is crazy, because they probably don't know anybody else that's doing it.
I got 2 versions of a bio. I got an Air Force narrative. I got an official Air Force bio. But the problem is I didn't get an Air Force narrative or Air Force bio until I made the rank of senior CO. Why?
Because that's what I just said.
That it was a requirement for us to complete during the senior COPE.
Yeah.
They sent that to us as part of our in-docs package, right? So what I've done, what I've tried to do is, I share my bio with tech staff and airmen, and that way, hey, go ahead and do this. If you have a photo, go ahead and do this. One of the other things that I'm gonna do, we'll talk about this offline, because it's a professional development I'm gonna try to do for the military. So we're gonna talk about this offline. I think it's something that's needed. It's something, and lately I've been speaking more retirement life and military life being parallel. And everybody saying, well, why? If I'm retiring in 10 years, why does it be parallel? And lately my conversation has been, hey, if you're writing your evals should not be about promotion. Your eval should be about ensuring that you establish and sustain and maintain your quality of life. And your quality of life could be setting you up for promotion on the inside, but at the same time, you should be looking at any information that you allow to go on your annual eval should be able to be transferred over to a resume. And you should be able to take that impactful information and develop and explain that on the resume with that same impact. A lot of people just don't, and I just started connecting that only because I had to do a resume recently to apply for a job. And it's crazy. I'm sitting like, man, like, why am I doing this at year 18 or year 17 and a half? Why am I not doing this at 10? Why am I not doing this at 7? You know, once I get, like in your words, once I get some skin in the game, once I get somewhere to a level of establishment, and I've got my grounding in the military, why am I not make sure these documents are parallel with each other? And then on top of that, why am I waiting till I get to year 15 to establish a LinkedIn account? You know, I should have all of this stuff going because, yeah, I want to be able to walk out the military and they say, hey, I got, 160K waiting. What am I doing? Oh, you said you were into, public relations and marketing and, you like speaking. Hey, this is what your stuff say. Here's a job. Establish, your net worth in the military is building every year you're in the military. Why don't you go ahead and have your civilian platform established so they can see what your worth is.
And you know what? And I like that, but you got to remember, LinkedIn just came on board. That's why you didn't have it a long time ago. But I'm hoping that the military is teaching people, hey, make sure you get up on LinkedIn. But you know what, too? You shake your head no, but you got to still remember that ain't the military's job. The military's job is to kill bad guys. Yeah. So people be always like, well, the military didn't tell me this, the military didn't tell me that. That ain't their job. Their job is to defend our country against enemies, foreign and domestic. Exactly. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing on the outside, that's not what DoD does. That's what, we gotta remember what the job requires, what the military does, and what we want to do on our own. That's on us to make sure we connect with those. And there's several organizations that help with this and help with that. It's just like we have to be clear on what it is that we want to do. And I know you said, finding another job that'll pay this right now for me. And this is just ShaDonna McPhaul speaking personally. I don't want another job. I don't care how much money it is. And I love money. Don't get it wrong. But you know what I love more is the freedom to do it my way.
Yes.
And like I said, I've had jobs that'll pay this. Some days I'm like, man, maybe I need to go back to that 40,000, but it's like, no, Mo, if you get your stuff together, you could be making 40,000 a month. So, I don't know if you've seen, there's like memes going around. Sometimes they'll dangle that salary in your face to make you forget about your dreams. Yeah. Don't be that guy. Do what you want to do, but I ain't going to be that person. I'm finna go make my dreams, my profit and my passion match.
Don't work 60 years to enjoy 10 years of your life.
Yeah. And you could, like I said, everything that I want to do ain't for everybody else. Like I said, this race after the military is an individual race. And that's the one thing, if nobody take nothing else from the words that are coming out of my mouth, is to make sure you do what's right for you. Yeah. If you want to chase the bag, chase the bag. If you want to make your own bag, make your own bag. But because what I found too is when people got out of the military, they're searching for purpose. It's like the money doesn't matter anymore. Like I said, you need the money to keep the lights on and all that to pay your bills to live. But there's still something empty. Like I said, that's not being fulfilled. There was holes that money couldn't fulfill. And it wasn't until I left and started doing my own thing where the money was gone, but I felt fulfilled. Right. So it was just like, Mo, okay, now you're fulfilled. Now you got to go back and get this money. But I had to fill that hole. That's the number one thing. I had to make sure I felt whole. Yeah, you got to.
So we're coming up on our hour. And one of the things is, and bring consistency, because me and you could go all day. Last night we almost went a whole hour and a half. But I I gotta end. I always have to end with these two questions. I didn't even ask the rest of them because the conversation went to where it's supposed to go. But I have to end with these two questions, right? Because your story is very inspirational, and we only touched on the surface of your story. But we did talk about how you fought through, how you went through, adverse situations, and you made it seem easy. But the thing about it is, somebody else that's walking away from the military or walking away from a life of comfort for 20-something years and walking into their dream or their passion, they're navigating through the unknown. So these two questions are connected to helping inspire or advising somebody to walk through the unknown. So question number one, how do you deal with discouragement?
How do I deal with discouragement? Number one, I try not to let it get to me. I try to just, and I don't say you can't necessarily block it out, but it's just like, okay, you got to understand where the discouragement is coming from, where the adversity is. Is this person even author? Why did you even give this person the authority to feel like that they can even discourage you? So that's number one. Who is doing the discouragement? Are you asking that discouragement between outside discouragement or internal discouragement?
Both. So like basically you walk out and know it's taking too long to get what I thought I was going to have, or this job or this vision or this dream that I dreamed that I executed is not moving as fast as I wanted to move. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just start with the internal discouragement. I was just like, okay, Mo, what else can you add? What are the missing pieces that you're not doing? Just like
Right.
today, I had a major dose of motivation because it was like, yeah, it's been a year and I'm still not where I want to be. But I looked at, okay, well, we're still going. And I tell people, just keep going. Yeah, things are going to happen when they happen. And it's like, we got to know that it's not your time, it's God's timing.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen. And I see it. I love Facebook memories because it shows me, okay, you're still making progress. Because like, you got to remember, I started from nothing. Like I said, when I left the military, yeah, that was a stepping stone. But most heroes in the Mo, that was something that I had to start. It didn't come with, you go in the military, they already have the regs and the instructions and the recall rosters. The structure's already there. They just plugging people in. When you're doing your own thing, and that's what I had to remember too. I was trying to pick up most heroes where the Air Force left off. And I couldn't die mode. This is brand new. The Air Force was established, in 1947?
Right.
If my Air Force memory serves me correct. So sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves because our expectations are so high. And I'm not saying don't have high expectations, but manage your expectations. Like, why do you think you're supposed to be there this time? Who told you that was the end game?
Right.
Who told you were supposed to be there by the end?
Right.
It's one thing to set the goals, but okay, well, maybe if it's going to take you a little bit more time, it just takes you a little bit more time. Don't ever think that, oh man, I missed it, I failed. What did you lose? Like I said, you may have lost some money, but it's like, okay, do you still have time? Are you still breathing? Did God wake you up this morning for you to try again?
Right.
But that's how I battle it. I'm like, I still got time. It's still another day. It's still another call I can make. It's still another business I can visit. It's still another ask out there.
Yeah.
So okay, I just keep going with the ask. Okay, we just want to keep going till we get it.
And then the final question: if you ran into a person or anybody that's listening, what advice would you give a person that's at a crossroad and is considering giving up on their dream?
I would absolutely say, do not ever, 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 ever give up on your dream. And I say that because, like I said, you still have time. Maybe you need that coach. Maybe you need that consultant. Maybe you need that person to give you that push. There's always somebody out there that can help you get to the next level. And maybe you need to change the dream. Maybe the dream has changed, because I know I've had dreams at some point in my life. Okay, my dream was to do this. Then, I've had more dreams. I added dreams on to the dream. So it's just like, but I never gave up on the first dream. I just had another dream that I'm pushing a little bit harder. So, like I said, find if you really absolutely want to give up. Like, who am I to say not to? But I will say, look at where you are and find that coach, find that consultant that specializes in helping people to pull people through. It's going to be an investment because people have done spent a lot of, and we've had this conversation too about all the money that people have spent to go into the trainings, going to the conferences, buying the courses, even college classes for people to get this knowledge and this expertise to help other people. And like a lot of folks, they've gotten their money back, but it's just like, okay, they got all that knowledge to start a business. So like I said, you be prepared to invest in somebody to pull you through it. Or, like I said, if you want to give up, if you don't want to do the work, that's the only reason I'll tell you to give up. If you're just tired of doing the work. If, I don't want to call nobody lazy because that's not nice. But if you don't want to do no more work, then, hey, give it up. But if you still have some fight left in you, don't give up.
And that's true words to say. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that answers that question differently, and they all always give a different spin on it. Never looked at it that way as if you feel like giving up, you're not going to tell them to give up. But if you don't, if you feel like if it's not in your heart or your passion, that's a story, But if you have the love, the passion, then, pull back and look at, where you can plug into another energy source to keep them going. We just got a comment in the comment section from Brenda Massey. She said,
"Hey, Brenda."
She said, "Hey, Mo." So we get ready to check out of here, y'all. We went over time just a little bit. I do apologize, but just like in church, when the Spirit's moving, we're not gonna stop the Holy Ghost, right? But before we get out of here, I gotta do some parting shout outs. So I gotta shout out my sponsor, one of my sponsors, Organics, Next Sheen. Hands down, if you don't know, this is one of the few black-owned hair products in the world. It's global, making a killing in South Africa. I'm gonna need you guys to go look it up because we need to make this a top 5 product in the United States for urban and ethnic products. I also want to send a shout out to Impress Actions. They own the brand, the Changing the Narrative brand T-shirts. Check them out. I tagged them on my page. And also Live on Enterprise. That is a family business, so they're going to always get a shout out. But right now, my sister, Dr. Kanisha Bracely, has literally developed a straight up and down VIP fitness program for the person on the go. And right now, we're in the middle of the life shift, and so there's some big things happening from her. And also, black on black business. I decided to wear. I started to be nostalgic today because I know my girl Mo. She liked the old school life. Was it Charlotte Swing My Way? Is that?
There's a lot of them.
That song is that's gonna be that's her song. But shout out to Carl Kanai. If y'all know who Carl Kanai is, you're too young to be hanging out with your boy. One of the few black-owned businesses that's still doing it in the dress world. But also, finally, is the city.com. If you're an entrepreneur and you need, like what Mo was saying, you need an entity to help push you through as far as especially digitally, is the city is where it's at. If you didn't catch the interview prior to the interview, if you didn't catch the commercial prior to the interview, scroll back to the beginning of the interview and you can see it. And I'm just playing. But basically, man, if you link up with this company, it's black owned, started it's started by us. But if you link up with this company, literally, they will take your business and develop a digital promotional platform for you. And it's a doorway from the roadblocks that you receive as an independent business owner when you're trying to market and brand yourself in a big data world. And this is a great doorway, a great step up, a great foot in the door when it comes to marketing any business. They also do things like what we're doing here. This interview platform with the logo and the artwork is powered by the team at Izzy City. For more notably, Coach Trey. I want to send a shout out to my girl B. Michelle, the branding agent in San Antonio. She is not just only in San Antonio. She's all over the place, literally and figuratively. I love you though. So with that being said, tune in next Sunday. We're going to talk about cakes. We have an individual that's coming on next week who actually competed in Cake Wars, and she's going to tell us her story, and she's going to talk about her new brand and vision that she's getting ready to embark on. Her journey she's getting ready to embark on in her new business. So Miss ShaDonna McPhaul, aka Mo, the party girl, the Mo she puts the Mo in better, the Mo in money, and the Mo in Monday. I'd like to thank you for giving me an hour out of your Sunday evening. And tell Charles I apologize. I buy him some skins on the game. But thank you for showing up, man, and showing out as always. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. And guys, like I said, I like the Mo's Heroes. Like I said, if you need my help, I'm taking new clients, I'm making videos, I'm sending press releases. I want to make sure that people that need you know you, because they got to know you to get that sale. And
they do.
Like I said, hit your girl up.
And we gonna I got some when we sign off, I got some information to pass on to you.
All right.
About a military organization that's going to help you in the near future. So thank you guys. Mike Berry, what's up, baby? We're gonna sign out of here, y'all. Peace out. Trey, take us out, y'all.
Don't try me, because I'm fine. What you said, turn the other cheek. Oh, but this one part of the Bible that just don't sit right with me. So try Jesus, please don't try me, 'cause I find I have no problem laying these hands.